So, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, which we talked about. That's a big one for me. That's been on my head. The pride of life. How prideful are we? We're very prideful, and we don't even realize it, right? And we can't come to God being proud. That's probably why most of us don't come to God, is because of our own pride. We don't even realize we have, and we do. We all do. Some of us are more humble than others, but we all have self pride. You know, it's all, think of it. We all want to be looked at. We all want to be, the world we live in, that everybody wants a pat in the back for just their job. The media kind of, they turn it around. Oh, we have to thank this group. I'm a farmer. I hear that too. Oh, let's thank the farmers. And hey, I'm not cool for saying thanks, but we're all just trying to make a living doing what we do. God's given us all a lot in life, or He's given us all gifts. Whether I'm gifted at farming or not, I don't know. But that's what I never thought I would be, a farmer, but I am, and has its ups and downs. It's a great way of life. But yeah, so the pride of life, that's a big one. Is not of the Father, but is of the world. And who runs the world? Right? So it's of the devil, basically, right? So those are just a few things to keep in mind as we get caught up. But Jesus says, so to us who have no idea, or even if we get caught up in that, but so what's Jesus says, John 14:6, I am. You've heard that before, probably. I know certain ads have used that. I am. That's saying I am God, right? And the world uses that as a slogan. It's kind of mocking God in a way too, right? It's funny, but most people don't realize that. I am. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. What does that mean? The Father, so up to heaven, eternal life. No one comes to the Father but through me. So he's telling, this is Jesus back 2026 and change years ago when he was on earth. This is why I'm here. I'm the ultimate sacrifice. Right? He's the ultimate sacrifice. And he's saying I am, which is saying I am God. So in a world where people say he was a man, he wasn't God and all that, that's okay. I mean, obviously the devil's trying to deceive that, because that was the biggest curveball to Satan that ever was. He sent himself as a sacrifice because it had to, sin has to be paid for. God is too perfect and holy to allow any filthiness, so to speak, into. It doesn't make the cut. But he loves, which I'm not a lovey-dovey guy, he loves us so much that he sent himself on the cross for us. Think of that. He spoke the world into existence, right? That's how powerful he spoke it. We say the Big Bang. Well, it probably was a Big Bang when he spoke that into existence. Boom. Created Adam and Eve, created Adam from the dust of this, from the dirt of the ground, breathed the living soul into him. And he saw that man needed companion, so he put Adam to sleep, and from his rib of his body created Eve. That's what it says, when the two shall become one, when you get married, right, in front of God. Therefore, the two shall become one flesh. That's how God designed it. Anyway, but I'm rambling on there. But to think of that, the God who created everything, to be sitting there that's why he came. He knew he'd have to go through it. That's why the night before he was sweating it as if it were drops of blood, it says. Because he still had to go through the physical feeling. Think of how scared you would be knowing you're getting ridiculed tomorrow, getting murdered, and you'd have to, by the same people, I believe the week before Palm Sunday, that wave palm branches at you coming in on the donkey. Oh, it's Jesus the Messiah. The next week, these same people, think that's how the devil deceives. These same people were saying in front of Pilate. Pilate was, I forget the name. Anyway, Pilate, the religious leaders, they wanted Jesus taken down, right? Because he was showing that the religion was just fake. It was hypocrisy, right? People looked up to him, and we see it today. I mean, that's probably a lot of reason. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm not going to church," or "I don't want to believe in that," because those people just think that they're. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand that, but you can't use that as an excuse. There's a lot of people that go to church today that, going to. And I'm not mocking church. Church is great. We should go to church, but I'm saying a lot of people that go to church and think that saves them, or we have some religion where we think that oh yeah, Jesus, I say a routine prayer that I don't even really know what I'm doing. I don't have a relationship with God. Well, that's right where the devil wants you. You think you're saved, but you're completely not. And it's worse because you actually think you are, and it's sad. But anyway, the same people, so the religious people, I see that a lot today. That's why I'm going to that. The religious people, I'm not saying I see that today for religious people a lot. I'm saying I see it in our society with, let's say, the woke culture where they went underneath, right? They didn't want people to know, but it was them that took them to Pilate and said, this guy's, we need him out of here because he's exposing us, basically, is what they're doing, right? So they talked to people. There was a man named Barabbas who was in jail to be crucified for murder and a bunch of other things. Just a complete bad apple. So Pilate couldn't find it. He said, I find no fault in Jesus. I don't see anything. We're going to let him go. All right? But again, the religious people said no. So they talked to people, the religious people, anyway, it says the chief priests and the elders persuaded the crowd to ask for Barabbas and to have Jesus executed. So Pilate was frustrated, right? He didn't want to see this, but he said, which of the two do you want me to release to you? Asked the governor. Barabbas, they answered. What shall I do then with Jesus, who is called the Messiah? Pilate asked. They all answered, crucify him. Why? What crime has he committed? Asked Pilate. But they all shouted louder, crucify him, crucify him. So that's just it's an interesting to me as I get older, and I've known this stuff my whole life, but never. Yeah, God's always showing us new stuff that that's all of us too. What I always think when I was younger, I thought, oh, these people that killed him, like, well, that's us. We all killed Jesus. He took our place.